Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Air News Daily on the 25th of June with me, Jeremy Spake. Europe's regulator EASA has ordered that 16 Airbus A380 aircraft are inspected immediately, including 5 that must be checked before they can fly commercially again, although to facilitate inspection, EASA has authorised ferry flights to approved inspection locations. The European Aviation Safety Agency issued an Emergency Airworthiness Directive late on Monday calling for wing mid-spa inspections of 15 Emirates and 1 QANTAS operated A380. The agency confirmed that the new directive follows a previous order issued in 2025 that highlighted the discovery of cracks in wing middle spars of several A380s, although the earlier directive focused on inspecting A380s that were returning to service after being in storage. Having reviewed the data from those earlier inspections, the regulator determined that cracks found on certain aircraft could reduce the structural integrity of the wing. In response to this, Airbus, the manufacturer, has decided that additional special inspection now has to be accomplished, hence the directive being issued. The directive came into effect yesterday and Emirates must now complete inspections of 5 of its aircraft immediately, whilst the remaining airframes, to include the one operated by QANTAS, must be inspected within 25 flight cycles, or in other words 25 flights. In aviation, safety has always been the first priority before any other consideration, which is why it remains the safest form of transport. It is this level of oversight that ensures travellers are kept as safe as humanly possible, and whilst the news may be of concern to travellers, we would stress that the carriers involved have excellent safety records and a reputation of full compliance, and we are confident that both airlines will complete the required inspections without further delay. Thanos Paskalis, the CEO of Mediterranean flag carrier Cyprus Airways, recently addressed a trade conference in London, where he explained that the availability of engine assets has been a key driver for the carrier's fleet decisions following severe disruption to its operations 2 years ago, caused by issues with the airline's Pratt & Whitney geared turbofan engines. Paskalis said that the carriers plan to phase out its A320 CEO fleet and replace them with additional A220s changed in 2024 because of the engine issues, and that they decided not to acquire any further A220s as a direct result. The Larnaca-based airline is expecting to take delivery of 2 A320neos next year, which will join its current fleet of 6 aircraft. The selection of the neos was only made after the carrier was satisfied with the condition and maintenance of their engines. Like most airlines across the globe, Cyprus is also challenged by maintenance, repair and overhaul capacity, which means they need to plan their engineering needs much further in advance than they did previously. And with rising costs, their operations will continue to be challenging in the medium term. On the 27th of October, Birmingham Airport in the UK will get its first ever non-stop service to the Egyptian capital Cairo, when Egyptair commence a 4 times weekly service using its 737 fleet. This will complement the airport's existing routes to Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh, but will crucially give them additional access to Egyptair's wider network from Cairo, serving as an alternative to Dubai and Doha to Africa, Asia and the Middle East. The granddaddy of low-cost flying, Southwest Airlines, has operated its first ever Starlink-equipped commercial service. The 737-800 operated from the carrier's home base at Dallas Love Field to Albuquerque in New Mexico on Monday, giving customers their first chance to enjoy high-speed Wi-Fi at 35,000 feet. The airline hopes to have 300 of its fleet equipped with the system by year's end, and has said that the remainder of its fleet, approximately 500 aircraft, may yet be equipped with the system at a later date. Emirates Sky Cargo has announced the expansion of its dedicated freighter services across East and Southeast Asia. Services from its Dubai hub to Tokyo's Narita and Taipei in Taiwan will double with the introduction of a second weekly service, giving both destinations 2 flights per week. Hong Kong will now enjoy 37 weekly flights, and Shenzhou in China will now benefit from 3 services per week, and Singapore has been restored to the Sky Cargo network via Mumbai once per week. Global freight demand remains strong, and it's good to see that being reflected in an expanded service network by Emirates. And finally, British Airways and Canadian carrier Porter Airlines have announced a new codeshare agreement, providing British Airways customers with seamless access to travel on selected Porter Airlines domestic routes. Customers of the UK flag carrier will be able to book flights to 17 destinations in Canada, including Ottawa, Edmonton and Winnipeg, connecting from the British Airways network when travelling to or from London via Toronto or Montreal. In addition, members of the British Airways Club will be able to earn Avios and tier points when travelling on Porter Airlines flights. Thanks for being with us today. Because of IT infrastructure upgrades taking place in our studios tomorrow, we have decided to take a break now until Monday, which with the searing heat will also help keep the Air News Daily team safe and well. It's been very hot in London. We will be back on Monday with our usual routes update and look forward to seeing you again then. In the meantime, please take great care, especially if you are in a part of the world that is experiencing excessive and abnormal weather conditions. Have a great weekend and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
We look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to Air News Daily to stay up to date with all the latest news from the commercial aviation world.